One of the reasons that I became a Tottenham Hotspur fan was because of this man, Harry Kane. I liked his approach to the game. I liked watching him play in the World Cup. I was new. He was a nice player in my mind. And so when he left Tottenham, I was a little upset. I was like, man, I really would have liked to have watched my first full season with him on the squad. Well, he makes it to Bayern Munich. And I thought, Bayern Munich are just going to dominate like they have for many years. And it has not gone according to plan for Bayern Munich. And I don't even know what's wrong there or why it's not working. But I'm going to check out this video from Tifo Football, and they're going to explain why it hasn't worked in Bayern Munich.
Bayern are in crisis. Despite a huge financial advantage and signing Harry Kane in the summer, one of the most dominant clubs in Europe are in grave danger of not winning their league title for the first time in 12 years. And in February, it was announced that head coach Thomas Tuchel will be leaving the club at the end of the season. So, what's gone wrong in Munich?
Well, I mean, as a fan, can you really be that sad if you're going to miss your first title in 12 years? Come on, guys. Let somebody else have a piece of the pie. Just 12 years of dominance. I think, it's time to reevaluate. Take a break from the top.
Prior to 2023-24, Bayern had won 11 straight Bundesliga titles. During the same period, they'd also won the Champions League twice. So this is a downturn in relative terms. Nevertheless, this season Bayern suffered a humiliating DFB Pokal defeat to 3rd Division Saarbrücken, have been unconvincing in Europe, and are barely in contention for the Bundesliga. And all of this despite beginning the season by breaking the German transfer record and signing Harry Kane for 100 million euros. That Kane signing is a good place to start. Typically, Bayern have not been engaged in protracted transfer sagas, and yet that is what the Kane deal became. While most German clubs prefer to conduct business early in pre-season, or even before, Kane arrived less than 24 hours before the German Super Cup in August. The negotiations seemed to distract the club from other pressing squad shortages, and at a time when the organisation was undergoing high-level change. On the final day of the 2022-23 season, during which Bayern unexpectedly sacked Julian Nagelsmann after just 18 months, the club announced the departures of CEO Oliver Kahn and board director for sport Hasan Salihamidzic. Jan-Christian Dressen, the long-term CFO, replaced Kahn, with Christoph Freund becoming sporting director in July 2023 and Max Ebel appointed to succeed Salihamidzic in early 2024. But Bayern's movement in the transfer market since suggested a club yet to become aligned. They unsuccessfully attempted to rush through a transfer for João Palhinha in the last 24 hours of the summer window. In January of 2024, the club concluded a quick deal for Sacha Boey, completed the loan signing of Eric Dyer, and brought forward the future transfer of young winger Brian Zaragoza. In the 10 years between 2012 and 2022, the club signed just 2 players permanently, combined across a decade of January windows. The last 2 Januaries consequently have delivered 3 incomings each, describing a different and more reactive strategy. Long-term change seems necessary though, because the 23-24 season has its roots in a declining standard of long-term recruitment. Since last winning the Champions League in 2020, replacing departing influential players has been a significant issue. Thiago Alcantara was sold the same summer. Javi Martinez, Jerome Boateng, and David Alaba all departed on frees in 2021. Robert Lewandowski left in 2022, a year before Kane arrived. During those seasons, Bayern's incoming transfer success rate was alarmingly low. Since the summer of 2020, around 450 million euros has been spent, and yet neither Javi Martinez's defensive midfield qualities nor Thiago's passing ability have been replaced. Among the players who have arrived, few have had a positive impact. Leroy Sané has become one of the side's best players, Matthias Tell should become one of the finest talents of his generation, and Harry Kane has been prolific, but the majority are either yet to consistently have a positive impact, or have already been proven unsuccessful. That inability to refresh the team has invited unquantifiable problems too, like declining motivation among senior players who've won everything already. Reliably, a repeating media theme has been the disgruntlement of the dressing room and complaints about tactics and man management styles. Vague as those accusations have been, the team's decline has been easy enough to chart. Since winning the Champions League, Bayern have not been beyond the competition's quarterfinals, and while they won 3 successive Bundesliga titles after 2020, their points tally declined in each of those 3 years. In 2022-23, they may have been champions, but they won just 21 games, their fewest since finishing 3rd in 2010-11. Of course, the lack of a credible domestic challenger has allowed Bayern to decline quietly, but the noise and politics surrounding the club has also created significant drag. Bayern always attracts significant media.
So, what I'm getting from this is they've really not actually been that dominant, especially for the last 3 years. They're just playing in a league where there's not a quality contender to go against. And so maybe Bayern's troubles this year aren't that surprising. And you know another thing? Could it be that the Tottenham curse was actually the Harry Kane curse? And I hate that for the guy because I genuinely do like him. I think he's a great player. But could it be that like wherever he goes, they're going to struggle? Maybe the curse is broken for Tottenham. I hope. All right, let's get back into it.
Tension, but in the years since 2020, and in no particular order, they endured a public row between some of their members and their supervisory board over a sponsorship agreement with Qatar Airways, suggestions of ideological clashes between Uli Hoeneß, the former president, and Oliver Kahn, and also opprobrium over the sacking of Julian Nagelsmann, who found out about his dismissal via the media while on a family skiing holiday. And in February 2024, there was more flux and
Tough
fallout.
news.
Bayern announced that Thomas Tuchel, who succeeded Nagelsmann, would be leaving the club that summer. Tuchel's time was not easy. He arrived in early 2023 and fortuitously won the Bundesliga, but also duelled repeatedly with the media, most notably in a live television interview with Lothar Matthäus. Tuchel also spoke openly during the 2023 pre-season about whether Joshua Kimmich, an 8-time Bundesliga winner, was capable of playing the number 6 role in midfield. Tuchel said no. Kimmich, when asked, very pointedly said yes. Rumoured tension between the two was a topic thereafter. And there were tactical criticisms too. The decision to often leave Matthias de Ligt on the bench mystified commentators, and the selections in midfield repeatedly caused disagreement. In what was effectively a title decider against Leverkusen in early February, Tuchel made a series of surprise team selections and unexpectedly used a back 3 in defence. Bayern were soundly beaten 3-0. A few days later, they suffered a back-to-back defeat for the first time in 4 years, losing to Lazio. It also completed 180 minutes in which Bayern didn't register a single shot on target. So there were statistical issues, and apparently social ones. Tuchel, wrote Raphael Honigstein for The Athletic, hasn't been able to strike up much of a bond with the majority of players in the dressing room after implicitly questioning their credentials on many occasions. His reign was troubled then, but that fitted a pattern. Since Pep Guardiola left in 2016, Bayern have, including Tuchel, had 6 full-time head coaches, none of whom have lasted even 2 full seasons in the job. Among them, only Hansi Flick and Jupp Heynckes, who were each appointed mid-season in response to the sackings of Carlo Ancelotti and Niko Kovac respectively, have had 10 years of relative tranquility, which speaks to the range of issues at Bayern Munich, the depth of which goes beyond simply who's coaching the team. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is
So, seems like there's a lot of things going wrong for Bayern right now. It seems like actually this decline has been a part of, has been in place for the last few years, and now we're just sort of seeing the coming to fruition of it all. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comment section down below. What do you think about Bayern's decline this year, and how can they turn it around? I'll see you guys in the next video.